Hello everyone and welcome back to Jorvik Together, the podcast where we explore the world of horse games, community and creativity. Today we have a very special guest, someone who's become a true icon in the horse gaming community. Since launching her YouTube channel in 2016, she has built a global following with her unique blend of storytelling. She's the voice behind countless adventures in games like Minecraft, Star Stable, and much more. Please welcome the incredible Abigail Pinehaven. Hi!
Hi! Hello! Wow, you just showered me in compliments. Thank you so much.
Well, I mean, I had to.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Like, oh my god, like the same girl. Oh my god. Basically, if you want, you can introduce yourself a bit. I mean, I'm sure that people mostly know you, but if you want, you can introduce yourself and tell us some things about you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Abigail Pinehaven. I'm a horse game content creator on YouTube. That's my primary social media, but I'm also on Instagram and TikTok. I have loved horses all of my life, but not being able to ride sort of led me to seek out other avenues of getting, to write the stories and have that like bond with my horse through video games. And I've now made that into my full-time career. So I'm a very, very lucky person.
No, that is insane. You have, if I'm not mistaken, 200,000 and 30,000, something like that, right? For subscribers. That's insane, girl. That's wow. But like, how long? Actually 9 years it took you like to get to that, right? Yeah. From the beginning, you only recorded horse games, right?
Well, at the beginning, it was actually only Star Stable. I was exclusively a Star Stable channel. That's where I started for quite a few years, actually. I was just doing like Star Stable stuff. And then I ended up moving on to like the whole new horse game fad and Rival Stars and Minecraft and that sort of thing. I sort of developed past that point, but I only exclusively do like horse themed content. So if I do a game that isn't about horses, the video is still about the horses in that game.
Yeah. So everything horses related.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Okay, and why horses? Like, do you ride in real life, or is it just like the love for horses, or?
It's definitely the love for horses. I used to ride when I was much younger, so like maybe 9, 10, 11. And I've always been like obsessed with horses, like many people are. And as I said, like I wasn't really able to do too much with horses in real life. I actually used to live in Cyprus, and I used to like live out in the country, and there weren't very many like horse riding stables. So I sort of felt a bit isolated, I suppose, in terms of, getting into horses and riding and stuff like that. So, laptops and PCs are always within reach. So I started off with horse games, and I was just so obsessed with it, like even from a very, very young age, and I continue to be obsessed until now still. So
yeah, same girl, we have the same passion. Exactly. Just in different levels. No, amazing. And what inspired you actually, to start your channel back in 2016? That is basically like a decade ago.
Yeah, you're making me feel old now.
No, stop.
It's so long ago. You're so old.
It is. Yeah, no.
I think back then I was watching a lot of like Star Stable videos, and this was, I make the joke, but it was quite a while ago now. And back then, I think on YouTube, there wasn't like, especially in the Star Stable space, people weren't super like professional. Like it was people just having fun, people like, role playing, or just making fun like video edits. And I really, really like that. I like to watch a lot of that content. And I always say to people that when I was playing Star Stable, I would like play music, and I would like move the camera and like pretend like I was in a Star Stable movie. And that was like my favorite thing to do. Mind you, I'm like 14, 15 at the time. And it was like my favorite thing to do. And I pretty much I think I asked for a video editing software for Christmas in 2016, which is obviously the time that I made my channel. And I basically already had, I think it was like Bandicam or something to record my screen, and I just really, really wanted to like get into the world of YouTube just as like a fun thing. So definitely like a mix of like other Star Stable YouTubers that I watched, and also like my own brain pretending I was in like a Star Stable movie as I was playing the game.
Oh my god, that's so cool. You reminded me now, you have a very, very popular movie that you made, right? A spirit-based.
Yes.
You
Are
do.
you talking about the Red Dead one?
Yeah, I just remember when you mentioned movies and stuff, and I just remembered I saw that it has like millions of views, which is insane. Like, what the hell? I even watched it, I think, but I think some time ago, but I know I watched it. It was like the whole internet, was about that movie, I think.
100%. Especially in the horse space, like I feel like that movie is like huge, and then you like pair it with Red Dead, and like a lot of people are interested in it.
Yeah, girl, my Spirit was my favorite childhood movie. Like it's still
same.
like I watched it like I think like bajillion times. I'm not even kidding. Like it was a million of times. So when I watched that, it was so something so heartwarming. When I watched that movie, because it's so like I don't know. It reminds me of my childhood. So, by the way, congratulations on that
Thank
massive
you.
achievement, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and okay, so basically, you started, yes, in 2016, but did you ever imagine that you would be like the Abigail Pinehaven, if you get me,
Probably not at this level, no, for sure. I mean, I think when I started, like at the time, having like maybe 20 to 30,000 subscribers was considered being like a really big YouTuber, especially in the Star Stable space.
Yeah, of course.
And while I wanted to get there, it wasn't my full time. I was just doing it as like, as a hobby. I was just having fun doing it. And I definitely, goodness, if you had told me, back then how it would be my full time now, and, the sort of numbers that I see, I probably wouldn't believe you. So I definitely did not think that I would be where I am today. And I'm very, very grateful for where I am.
I mean, I think personally that you're one of the biggest Star Stable. I mean, I know that you're not just this Star Stable, content creator and stuff, but if we are watching, I mean, your name is based from Star Stable, right? So if we are watching, I think you're one of the biggest. And how does that make you feel? Like, that's insane.
It's a bit weird because sometimes I forget. I definitely forget. For me, at least, like a lot of the stuff that I do, the work that I do, is very like, I don't know, I kind of have my head down and I'm like, okay, what am I doing next? What's the next video? What's doing well? What's not doing well? What am I doing? And sometimes I'll remember like, oh my God, like I have, a lot of people that really, enjoy my content. I sometimes I can't quantify it. Like I don't think about it too much. And sometimes it's scary as well, because it's sort of like when you're like small, or at least I felt this when I was smaller, I would look to other people to be like, I want to be like them and I want to do what they're doing. And being one of the bigger ones is definitely a little scary, because you think like, oh my gosh, like what do I do next?
Yeah. Like people are watching your every move, basically. If you can say like if you say something wrong, the whole internet is gonna be like, oh my gosh, she said that. She said, but even if you didn't mean that,
sometimes it can be a lot of like pressure to make sure that I have nightmares about like this is true, by the way. I have nightmares that I will like accidentally press like live stream or like upload a video that has me like saying a bad word in it or something, something silly where like, it hasn't happened yet, but it's just one of those things where like a mistake like that would be, first of all, so embarrassing. Second of all, like obviously like I just don't want that to happen. It definitely can be a little bit scary sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. And while we talk about your again era in 2016, do you remember the first video that you posted, and what was the video?
Oh, I do. I was very excited to post it back then. It was a channel trailer, and I think it had the soundtrack of Just Like Fire by Pink, and it was basically like clips of me on my Star Stable account like running around, like I had like eventing and racing, and like that's the thing, is I didn't know what my channel was going to be, but I was like, I'm gonna do all of these things, and it's just like a fun little edit, and I guess it was like the caption says something silly like Abigail Pinehaven is gonna start creating in 2017. And I was just so excited to be there, and I don't know if it's still public or not. I think it might not be, but if you'd like, I will give you that video to play, probably without the sound so you don't get claimed.
Yeah, of course,
you definitely have a look.
Yeah, I will. I want to put it in this episode. Of course, if you have it, you can send it, and yeah, oh my god, that would be amazing. But mostly, like, the games you play mostly are Minecraft, or?
I would say my bigger videos are definitely Minecraft. So it's almost like my big videos are the 100 days in Minecraft.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I sort of supplement the uploads with Rival Stars breeding. That's probably, if I'm being honest, Rival Stars is probably my biggest game. It's the one I've made most videos on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been doing Rival Stars for a very long time. Sometimes I'll do like Sims 4, like breeding or rescue, depending on sort of what I'm getting up to. But definitely, I would say like Rival Stars and Minecraft are definitely my two.
Yeah, the biggest. Yeah. I watched the 100 days. I think wait, what is the video title again?
Which one? I've got multiple. Yeah, 100 days in a horse rescue.
that one. Yeah, yes. that one. I watched. I think that is the most. Is it the most popular? From Minecraft, I think that is. It's like one of the most.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the most. For sure. Okay, then it's that. Yeah. Okay, but you're the most popular video, the most like watched is the Spirit movie. Am I right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. That I got that right. Okay. Oh my god, and you have so many videos. Do like, I know that's like off topic, but like, there must be like over 500 videos probably. Right.
Actually, if you'd like the exact number, it's 485.
Oh, I was very close.
You were very close. I'm quite impressed.
Very close.
That does include like shorts content, and it includes live streams as well. If actually, you know what, I'll give that to you, because I think there'll be videos that are privated from like many years ago, so it probably is close to 500. Probably, but there's about 485 public ones at least.
That's insane. But you know, when you look at it and you're like, oh my god, I made 500 videos, you know how much that is? Like, that's insane.
I suppose, but I guess if I was to do the math, I guess that kind of makes it look, because I just did 500 divided by 9 because I was on YouTube for 9 years. It does average about 55 videos a year, which I guess as a number is kind of big now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, it is big.
I'm like, oh wow, I do upload a lot. But as I said, like, it does kind of have a mix of media for short form, long form, live streams. I really enjoy the live streams, and they're quite easy to do. So yeah, but as a number, it is quite a lot to think. Yeah, especially like watching the older ones, being like, oh my gosh, they're so old. yeah,
I get it. Like, you can see the difference, right, between a few years, even 1 year probably, but even like few years, I think, yeah, you can see the like really big difference. And when we were talking about videos and stuff, like, what is your favorite part of making the video? Like, I don't know, is it editing, recording, interacting? Like, I don't know, you can, whatever, basically.
That's a good question. I enjoy a lot of it. It really depends on the type of video that I'm doing, but I think for me, the best part of that whole process is actually when the video is like ready, but it's not posted yet, because I get like excited. I'm like, I can't wait for people to see it.
And like, to show the world. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, exactly. And like, the work is done now, so like, I'm like, okay, I can relax now. Like,
oh my god, done. I'm the same with podcast. I am the same. Like, the editing process is like, oh my god. But like, when it's finished, I'm like, oh my god, can I post it?
Yeah, exactly. I think that for me is definitely my favorite bit. Obviously, I love when it's posted and people like interact with it, and people give their opinions on it, and all of that stuff. But definitely for me, like, the most exciting bit is when it's like ready and I'm like about to post it. I'm like,
yeah. And look, are your videos like scripted or not scripted, like freestyle?
It kind of depends on which one it is. If it's like a regular like breeding video, or like Sims 4 Rescue, or any of like the sort of regular content, no, it's not scripted. For the 100 days stuff, it's like yes and no. Specifically for like the original 100 days, I would just play, make notes on what happened like every day, and then create a script afterwards. So technically, I guess that's scripted, but I didn't know what was going to happen in the video before that. So I guess it's like it's a really a mix depending on what the video kind of needs. If the video needs more structure, then I'll maybe put some bullet points of like things that I want to do in the video. There have been a couple videos, sometimes first impressions of games, that I'll actually re-record because I didn't like how it came out the first time. I would be surprised if people can spot when that happened, because I feel like I do a good job of like being able to like emulate the excitement of seeing it for the first time. But sometimes I feel like this isn't me having a dig at myself, but sometimes I'm actually not a very good gamer. I'll start up a game and like I won't read things properly, so I won't know what to do, and then I'll get stuck on things.
Girl, same. Oh my god, same.
Yeah, I'm not very good at actually like gaming, at least not for the first time at least. So sometimes I'll like redo a recording so it looks a little like it's less frustrating for the viewer to be like, just press the button. Like,
no, oh my god, you have no idea how much I can I'm just like press, like skip. That's
yeah,
insane.
no, I'm sometimes the same as well, but it's just one of those things where I feel like sometimes when you boot up again for the first time, you're like so excited to get into it, so you're like okay, information, like reading, yada and then you get into the game and you're like, oh, I don't actually know how to do it.
Yeah, like let me play.
Yeah, exactly.
I completely understand that. And while you were telling me you have so many probably ideas and still have ideas for what to do, like how do you keep like being so consistent after so many years of recording? And I'm sorry, I don't want to make you old again.
You're like, you've been here for so long.
No, stop.
How do you keep going?
Yeah.
This is a really interesting question, because I've never really thought about it before. Like, I genuinely, since I first started like making videos quite consistently, I've never really run out of things to do. I think it's because I like to draw inspiration from other sections of YouTube. So rather than just looking, say, in the horse game sphere and see what people are doing there, like for example, the 100 days is a really big like challenge in the main like Minecraft YouTube space. So obviously when I saw that, I was like, I want to do 100 days in Minecraft, but make it about horses. So I sort of like took an idea that like the wider YouTube space had already kind of done, and I just kind of horseified it. That's sort of what I really enjoy doing. And as well, like I like to look at things of like, what do people enjoy watching? A lot of people really enjoy watching like breeding videos because it's fun to see like what color the foal's going to be and, you know, what stats it's going to have. So like, how can I kind of integrate that into a game that maybe isn't about horses, and just bringing in new titles and keeping stuff as fresh as I can. There's definitely like running themes throughout the channel, don't get me wrong, like definitely breeding's a big one, rescuing horses, that sort of thing. But like sometimes taking those ideas and being like, how can I apply it to this new game? So that's kind of how I keep it like semi-fresh at least.
And your content, it's also sometimes probably hard because you have to keep your content on like horse related, right? It doesn't
you'd be surprised. I don't really want to make content that's not on horses. Like, people have said to me before that they would watch content that isn't about horses, but I don't see myself enjoying making content that isn't about horses. So like, if anything, that it's kind of fun being like, how can I take this challenge, how can I take this theme and make it about horses? You know, just be the craziest horse person in the room and like make that video about horses in any way possible.
Yeah, I completely understand that. I mean, I cannot relate because I don't record, but I can. That is, you know what's important? That you need to enjoy your content. And yeah, I think you can like clearly see if people don't enjoy, but they just do it for example, for the money or for something. You get me, like what I'm trying to say. So I think you really enjoy making your content, and I can see that you are like love doing that. But do you have like any like hardest part that people don't see when being a YouTuber?
Ooh, I think, see, as like a full-time YouTuber, I am so, like, I know how lucky I am, and I love literally every part of the job. But I think for me, at least, it's having the work-life balance, because I think the best way to sort of describe it is like if you have like a regular job and you like don't do your work or you don't come to work, you will get in trouble, right? The boss will call you up and be like, hey, why didn't you come in? Why aren't you doing your project? You'll kind of get in trouble and you might get fired. So there's that kind of hanging over your head. It's with being a YouTuber, at least for me, it's like that. But instead of it being like a boss person, it's me. So like when I'm having a day off, I guilt myself and I'm like, why aren't you working? You could be working right now. You could be creating something new. You could be, you know, doing this thing that you need to do at some point. You know, it's almost like you never really turn off. You never really like get to like sit down and be like, okay, I'm done. Like there's no point where I'm like,
there is no done. Yeah, there is no done.
Exactly. There's always more to do. There's always like work to try and to experiment with. And sometimes I do struggle with like feeling guilty when I take time off or, you know, needing like holiday time and stuff. But I think that's more of like, that's just my mentality than like maybe a general YouTube thing. But I wouldn't be surprised if some YouTubers really do feel that.
And do you ever feel drained like because of that, because you're so consistent and everything?
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
You do. Yeah, and what do you do, for example?
The best thing that I try to do is to like actually leave and go on holiday somewhere, because it helps. I think the thing is my house and my phone is my work, so I need to like leave and get out.
Yeah,
and even if it's like, it might be like going, I don't know, on holiday somewhere else or visiting a friend, or even just like going out and, I don't know, doing like a physical activity or like whatever it is, just helps my brain disconnect from the internet a little bit and just kind of helps me reset. And I think like sometimes I'll need like a week, sometimes I'll need like you know, a couple of weeks. It kind of depends on how bad the burnout is, but definitely just letting go of it all and leaving it here is the best thing that I found, so that it doesn't follow me around like it does when I'm at my house.
I think generally like content creators, everything that is like social media related, I think you need to be consistent, and I think everyone feels guilty if they're not, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I think because I mean I for example just do for like, I do reels, I don't do anything else except podcast, and I feel guilty when I don't post, you know. I'm just like, oh my god, I need to post something.
Exactly. It can sometimes feel like you're losing sometimes when you're not posting, because you're like, other people are still posting and you kind of like compare yourself to everyone. The best way I like found to like quantify it is like, I will be looking at everyone, right? Everyone on my follow list, everyone that I subscribe to on YouTube, and I'll be like, you know, everyone's posting, but not really looking at like individual channels. And you know, one person might have taken a month to post something, and another person might be posting daily. It just kind of depends on the content that they do, their schedule, stuff like that. So definitely it's really difficult when you are comparing yourself, but the best way I kind of find is to be like, I'm not comparing myself to other people. What am I needing to do right now? And if I need a break, I need to take a break then.
That's true. Moving on, you have the Pinehaven Community, right? And can you explain a bit what is that?
So the Pinehaven Community to me is, I guess, the kind of horse girl space that I never had growing up. And I do use the term horse girl like gender fluidly. But it's basically the place that I kind of wish I had growing up, because a lot of my friends didn't like horses, and it kind of felt like I was the weird horse girl sometimes, and so I didn't really connect with people over that. But I kind of like to see the Pinehaven Community as like, I guess I don't really claim it, like I'm not like, oh, this is my community and this is like my fans. It's more like this is a place where people can share their interests about horses and can talk about horse games and, you know, share photos of their horses and, you know, talk about things and just have a space where people can kind of come together and just be like the weird horse girl without judgment.
No, that's so basically you had created a community with the people who has the same interest as you. Okay. And while we're talking a bit about, you know, fans interactions, communities, I want to ask, have you ever had a memorable fan interaction that stuck with you? I mean, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've had just such incredible like interactions with people who watch my content over the years, as we have established. I've been here a while. Definitely my favorite ones have been quite recent. I went to Brea Fest in the USA, which is sort of like a festival for like model horses.
I think I've seen that. Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, so I went there, and I guess there was a part of me that was like, oh, I wonder if I'm gonna get recognized. I wasn't prepared for quite how much I was recognized.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not
came up to
surprised.
me.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and it was really lovely. People were so sweet. I was really just blown away with how wonderful everyone was, and how like such nice things that they said to me. And I guess as well, seeing them face to face is sort of like, wow, you're a real person who watches the stuff that I do. And I think that that's so special. And it was really nice for me to just be like, there are real people behind the screens and behind the comments. And it was just such a nice reminder. So that's probably one of my favorite like interactions.
I'm seeing that you have a really lovely community and lovely fans and everything, but is there like some sort of hate also sometimes?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a generalization, but I feel like most of the hate comments or like criticisms that I receive are usually from outside the horse gaming space. Like you do get your like, you know, edgy chads who like come in. They might have accidentally like gotten recommended a video and they'll be like, ew, like the weird horse girls here. That really doesn't like bother me at all, because it's like, it's not for you. So like if you didn't enjoy it, that's fine. But in terms of like inside the community, obviously there are plenty of people that don't like me, and that is a-okay. That is absolutely fine. I can't win them all. But in terms of like the comments, I very rarely get ones that are like nasty or mean. And when I do, it tends to be like for a very specific type of video. Maybe I've been like critiquing a game, or maybe I said something that was maybe a little bit negative about like as I said, like a game or a community or something like that, and maybe they felt quite connected to that game or community, so they'll kind of like take it a bit personally. But I think in general, I try my best to ignore it, and at this point I do, because I've been doing this for so long, and I've just kind of learned like it doesn't. Okay, you know, genuine criticism, you know, wanting to improve, absolutely, I will take on board. But when people are just kind of being like nasty just to be nasty, I just recognize that for what it is, of like they were angry about something, they needed to vent, and that's okay. And they just needed the space for that. And that's not about me, that's more of a reflection on them. So generally, it doesn't really affect me anymore.
And like you probably have in your channel, I don't know, do you have any age range in your channel?
You know what, I will go ahead and I will pull up a quick look at my analytics. Now these tend to not be particularly accurate, because obviously people lie. People lie on the YouTube. But if I was just to go off my analytics, I would say, I mean, it's showing me that my biggest percentage is actually both 18 to 24 and 25 to 34 age range, which is quite old. Oh, okay, I feel really bad saying that. You're not old if you're you're not old if you're in that age.
No, I'm 22. It's fine. It's fine.
I did not mean that.
No, it's
but
fine.
I personally, I feel like it's probably more 13 to 17, but like when people create their accounts, maybe they're using a parent's account, or maybe they've like lied on the you know, sign up sheet. So I would say probably 13 to 24 is more accurate in the age range of like the biggest audience. But to be fair, according to my analytics at least, it is kind of a range. Like I've still got people who are like 35 to 54 who watch the channel. But again, those could be parents' accounts, so I don't really know.
No, I ask that because you're basically a role model to the like younger audience, right? Like your fans and stuff, and people who, you know, look up to you. And like, do you ever feel like that responsibility for your younger fans? So
absolutely, 100%. I take it quite seriously, because I think even if you make content on YouTube and you don't have like massive numbers, I think you do make an impression on the people that watch you. And I take it quite seriously, because I would hate to be the person that cause somebody to be cynical and to cause somebody to stop trusting and to cause somebody to like stop enjoying, especially horse games, you know. So I always try to be a good role model where it's applicable, and kind of enable people to know that like they're valid, you know, they're not weird for liking horses, you know.
They feel welcomed.
Absolutely, and that they enjoy what they do, because a lot of the internet, I feel, is like making fun of people, and again, no tea, no shade, but I feel like a lot of it happens on TikTok.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, there's a whole sort of subculture of like, haha, point and laugh at this person for doing what they enjoy. Can I just say, I actually like lose my mind when hobby horses post on TikTok and they get hate. Because this is a side rant, but like it just grinds my gears, because
this is like the hobby horsing is like the you know, horse's head, and then they like do okay.
And I feel like there's such a sentiment online of like, oh, back in my day, like all the kids were playing outside, but now they're all on their phones, right? And then when kids, especially like young girls, are, you know, showing videos of them outside exercising, jumping on things, having fun, that's the main thing, and people hate on that. I'm like, that makes me so mad.
I mean, so I genuinely think that, I'm sorry for interrupting, I just genuinely think that people like hating on everything, honestly, not just on that, but they find a way that they weasel into everything, and they just like, oh, you're bad for this, you're bad for that, you're da. Like I just genuinely hate this, not this community, but whole social media. I mean, I just don't like how the people's perspectives, you know, it's so annoying. Like
having a space, even if it's small, on the internet where you can be yourself, you can enjoy the things that you want to enjoy without being like, you know, pointed at and laughed at, like that's very few and far between. So if I can even be like a tiny part of that, then I'm happy to be there, you know.
Yeah, I completely understand that, and that's really good that you're doing that for your fans, and like they probably appreciate that.
I hope so. I mean, you know, I've gotten good feedback as well as negative feedback sometimes, but you know, to me it's like, even if it was one person, you know, in the entire YouTube space that was able just to feel validated, like that's really important to me. So I hope, you know, if you are that person, that you did, you know, get to reconnect with something that you really enjoyed without judgment. So that's all I can really ask for.
If you could describe it in 3 words, what would the words be? Like your community.
Ooh, definitely horse crazy. I'm gonna count that as 2 words. Horse crazy for sure. And I'm gonna say funny. I've had a lot of interactions with my community and the people that, you know, watch my content, and they're really funny people, and I really enjoy interacting with them. So definitely my 3 words would be horse crazy and funny.
Okay, amazing. Okay, let's move on to the horse games. By like, your channel is of course horse games related, but do you have any all-time favorite horse games? If you could like choose the one. I know it's very hard.
This is a really good question. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set rules for myself, because I could pick games like Minecraft or, you know, Red Dead. Technically though, they aren't horse games.
But even if it's Minecraft, let's pretend that it's a horse game, you know, because it's your channel. In your channel, it is a horse game.
Okay, well, I'd say if we can count like technically non-horse games, 100% would go with Red Dead Redemption. Incredible game. Just for the listeners, it is an 18+ game, and I don't recommend it if you aren't over 18. But it is a brilliant game, especially with all of the horse mechanics. But if I had to pick like an actual horse game, it would be Rival Stars Horse Racing. I really enjoy it.
Oh, really? That would be
specifically the desktop version. But yeah, I really love Rival Stars as well.
I played it sometimes, but is it really worth the hype? Okay, I'm asking the person who literally chose now. Like, is it worth the hype? No, but is it really that good?
I think it depends on your personal preference, and I personally don't really enjoy the mobile version. That's just me though. I know a lot of people really like the mobile version. For me, the desktop was like, it really sparked something when the game came out. I was obsessed with it, and even I showed it to my sister and she was obsessed with it. Like, she'd come into my office and be like, can I play Rival Stars, please? So I think like, it's just, for me at least, it was a really addictive game. But because of the way that it's kind of set up on desktop, it's not predatory. Like, you don't have the microtransactions, you don't have, you know, you don't have to like buy horses with real money. You just buy the game, and then you are really, really invested in the game for quite a while, I found. So it really depends on what you're into, but me personally, I really, really enjoyed it.
I remember now. Do you know that another like horse game is coming in November?
Legend of Komori.
Yeah, that one.
Yes.
I can't wait for it, honestly. I really want to play that. I just remembered now because I know another horse game is coming very soon.
That one I'm quite excited for. I'm a little bit
Same.
Because the publishers have created like a couple of games before. Sorry, the developers have created a couple of other Windstorm games, and they were okay. They weren't exactly groundbreaking, but this is supposed to be their big debut. You know, they had huge success. They had huge success on social media. They had huge success on Kickstarter, and this is supposed to be like the debut for them.
The horse game of the year.
Exactly. So I'm excited, but I'm also like, I guess I just don't want to be let down. So I'm like, I'm
basically,
my expectations.
And now while we are talking about the horse games and evolving and everything, like, how do you see the horse games evolving in the next few years?
The true answer to this is I don't know. There's a lot of factors that will affect it. You know, monetization, whether, you know, horse games kind of get recognized with some bigger developers and publishers. If I got to kind of decide, I would love to see horse games move away from simulators and more towards like actual gaming with themes and goals and like unique mechanics. For example, unfortunately the game hasn't received any updates since, but Tales of Rain Ravine was really, really promising because of how they revolutionized like horse riding controls, and I think that they were brilliant, and I'd love to see the industry produce more games where I actually have to feel like I'm doing something special with the horse and learning, rather than it kind of just being like buy horse and complete quests and, you know, run from point A to point B. Games that really like are unique, you know, that when you say their name, you know exactly what the game is, and you know you recognize it, you know. So I don't know where it's gonna go though. But that's definitely the direction I'd like to see it go.
Did you see that game, that Equinox something that
Equinox, and
do you like that? I didn't play it honestly yet.
I really enjoyed the first chapter, but I think there's like some discourse actually around Equinox. I won't talk about it too much, but I basically said I'm not going to cover the game until they actually have at least released it. Mostly because chapter 2 came out. I played chapter 2 on a live stream, and the cutscenes were just like text placeholders, and like I thought that was so lame. I was like, what? Like I think they have a really interesting approach to a horse game, especially with the cinematics. Cinematics are so rare in horse games, and then to not have the cinematics,
that's true.
It was like crazy to me. It was like, okay, if you're gonna release a chapter, make sure the chapter's finished, you know, so I can actually cover this.
I completely agree.
I've not binned it off, but definitely it's one of those where I'm like, I'm gonna revisit it when it's ready to be revisited. But I did quite like it when it first came out.
If you could design your own horse game, what would it include? What would it be? Like, describe it a bit for me.
See, I do have my dream horse game that I would love to see. There's a part of me that doesn't want to like talk about it just in case somebody steals the idea, but I think I have to
I completely understand that. I mean, you don't have to talk about it. You can just, you don't have to.
I will.
Oh, okay. As you wish.
At this point, I kind of have to accept, like, I'm not going to do it, or at least, like, I can't do it by myself. But if there's any listeners that would like to employ me,
girl, please go into the employment and make us a cool game, okay?
Yeah,
I believe in you.
So, I did 100 days in a zombie apocalypse with horses, and just, you know, to a T, that would probably be my dream horse game. It would have like any enemies, so it would have zombies, and essentially the premise would be that you were like a post-apocalyptic horse breeder. So you supplied local communities with horses. You could catch wild horses, but when you were out in the world and you were away from your safe base, that you had like zombies that could come and like kill you or spook your horse or stuff like that. Just making it like a game where it's really you versus the apocalypse, and you've got your horses and you've got to kind of train your horses so they're not scared of like gunshots and they're not scared of the zombies, or they can kick the zombies or stuff like that. So that's kind of my dream horse game. As I said, if anybody makes that game and doesn't involve me, I'm going to lose my mind. It is on record. Abigail Pinehaven said it first. I would like to be involved. But yeah, that's sort of my idea, because I think that would be something interesting in the space and something that maybe people hadn't really considered before.
And no, I love the game. And by the way, the graphics, like what would the graphics be like? Would it be like Red Dead kind of graphics?
Oh, I would be lying if I said I wouldn't love like Red Dead graphics.
Yeah,
I really would. Obviously, I'm aware of like budget restrictions. I think the beauty with a game like that is it wouldn't be super important what the graphics were. So if you did want to do like a lower poly game, then or maybe something like Star Stable that's a bit more stylized, you could definitely get away with that. But for sure, if I got to pick, like, had infinite money, infinite time,
okay, yeah, of course. Of course.
Red Dead graphics, I'm there,
Yeah, we miss the breeding in Red Dead.
Yes.
I want like if that would be like the breeding. I love how the non-horse game people are like, don't make this a horse game, like what the hell, this is not it, bro, it's legit only horses, like what do you mean?
Absolutely interesting point, because I get that comment quite a lot, especially when I make like videos on Red Dead and I do like the Red Dead role plays. People like it, not so much now, but definitely like a few years ago, people would get so heated. They'd be like, this isn't a horse game, why are you making it a horse game? And to me it's just like, why wouldn't I?
Like it's legit, this transport is horses. Exactly. Like you cannot
why wouldn't I make it about, they're gorgeous, the game looks amazing, I love horses, why wouldn't I? Just have fun with it. I guess that kind of ties back into like when people just want to hate on things, and people get like annoyed when people have fun. But that's how you're doing it right, when somebody hates that you're having fun.
Okay, and while we're talking about the most popular games right now, I want to go back to a bit of the not so popular horse games, aka like underrated games. Like, do you maybe know a horse game that you would like to give much more appreciation than it deserves?
Ooh, this is a good question. I think I wouldn't say it's like it's not popular, because I think it is, but it's not as popular as I think it should be. And it's definitely Ranch of Rivershine. Like I get it's not everybody's cup of tea, and the graphics are more like cutesy and cozy, but I think like the game itself it's actually finished now. It's not in early access anymore. It is 100% like complete game, and I really like it. I think it has like so many of the elements that people love in horse games. It's got breeding, it's got taming wild horses, it's got horse training, it's got horse selling, horse auctions, like it's got so much good going for it. But I find it is popular, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's as popular as it should be. So definitely Rancho Rivershine. If you haven't played it, I really recommend playing it.
What do you think makes horse games so special compared to other games?
I would probably say the community. You are generally hard pressed to find a community that is so obsessed, to put it simply, with one specific thing. I feel like you do have that in some sense in for example like football games or like flight simulator games or stuff like that, shooter games sometimes. But I feel like for horse games, when the audience is so obsessed with one element of the game and it runs so deep, I think it drives me insane how much these publishers and developers are missing in horse games, because people just want a really good horse game and they are obsessed with it and they will continue to play it when it is good. And I think that is really, really special to have in the gaming space, especially when it's like female dominated, for sure.
I want to talk about Star Stable a bit, just a bit, since your channel is, it's not based on Star Stable, but your name is based on Star Stable basically. By the way, off-topic question, but did you ever wanted to change the name because you don't play Star Stable as much? and your channel?
No, I love the name Abigail Pinehaven.
Same. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Thank you. I absolutely love it, and I think like if you play Star Stable, you will look at my name and be like, that's a Star Stable name. Like you'll know it's a Star Stable name.
Yeah.
But I think to people who aren't aware of like the naming system in Star Stable, to them it's just like an interesting last name. Some people do think it's my real last name, which I wish it was. But it is not. So I think it's like it's incognito enough that if you don't know, then it just looks like, you know, a channel name. Whereas if you do know, it's almost like you get an inside little like, oh, that's a Star Stable name. So I've never wanted to change it.
Quite a few years you were recording Star Stable, but like you stopped, and like why did you stop actually? Like basically, is my guess correct that you couldn't reach a bigger audience, right?
That was an element for sure. That was an element. Honestly, at the time, it was that Star Stable was, I guess the best way to put it was I wasn't feeling appreciated by Star Stable. And I don't mean that in a sense of like, as a content creator, they weren't sponsoring me. Like I don't, that wasn't the case at all. It was like as a player and as somebody who cared so much about, like I cared so much about Star Stable. Seeing the things that they did in that time period made me so upset, and it kind of made me feel like, you know, the content that I'm making, I just couldn't be positive about it anymore. And a lot of the videos on Star Stable that I was making was talking about its pitfalls and talking about the problems with it, and I was just like, I just don't want to be that person, and I don't want to continue making videos on a game that I don't feel appreciated as both a consumer and a creator. Like I don't feel like they value me as a player, so why would I bother, you know, spending time creating content on a game that I'm struggling to find joy in anymore. And then I mean, like a part of it was that, you know, people were moving away from Star Stable. I think Star Stable still does really well in the short form space, so like TikToks, Instagrams, but in terms of the long form space, I feel like it's harder to kind of not just get views, but like get that community. Like people have moved over to the short form content, so I just felt like it didn't fit me anymore. It didn't fit the channel, and it didn't fit what I wanted to do, so that's kind of why I stopped.
Off topic question, but do you like ever play Star Stable? Like not record, but play? You do?
Yeah, I do. I only do it for one reason, and one reason only, and that's because my best friend, Queasy, she still plays Star Stable in her spare time, and so what we'll do is we'll go onto Star Stable and we'll train our horses and we'll gossip.
Okay, the best. So
we'll just sit there and yap, and that is the only reason I play Star Stable. But in that right, as much as I will like, you know, complain about Star Stable as like a game, it's perfect for that reason. You know, it's just we play Star Stable, we get to run around the map doing our little, you know, on our little horses, doing our races, and just chat about things. So that's that. I do still play Star Stable in my free time.
And this is like an interesting question, but do you remember the first horse you ever bought in Star Stable?
I do. It was a black and white Jorvik pony, and I mean the generation 1. I'm not talking like the fancy new one. I'm talking generation 1 crusty little pony. And I remember I really wanted to get a Frisian, but you had to be like level 12 or something to get like Gen 1 Frisian, guys. This is
I know. I'm also a long-term player from 2014.
Exactly.
Girl, I get it.
Like the old crusty horses. But I really wanted the Frisian, and I wasn't that level yet, and I really wanted a new horse. So I was like, okay, the ponies are slightly cheaper. I got my lifetime membership for my birthday, and I had a little bit of star coins, so I bought myself a black and white Jorvik pony, and that was my first like bought horse on Star Stable.
I think when the OGs kind of, if you started playing like a really long time ago, all of our first horses were ponies, because mine was also pony, and then it was a Frisian Supernova, I called her. I think that was like the most popular name.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like everybody's Frisian was named Supernova. It was just so iconic.
Yeah, it was. Okay, I don't want to ask you more questions about Star Stable, because you told me what is your feelings about Star Stable, so now I'm not gonna ask you like what is your favorite update, or what is your, because no, I'm not gonna ask you that, definitely. Okay, I'm gonna move to behind the scenes a little bit. We talked like a lot about recording, about videos, about everything, but I I'm also interested in like your, I mean, not legit like personal life, but like, for example, what is your day like? I don't know, can you walk us through your typical day as a content creator? Like, what do you do? You said that this is your full-time job. Like, you know, tell me something about it if you want to.
Okay, so one perk of being a YouTuber is that you don't have to get up early in the morning. So
Yeah,
I will like wake up like maybe 9 or 10, sometimes later if I've stayed up late. So, you know, I get to wake up on my own time. The first thing I do is get everything done that I need to, like my adult chores, you know, making sure the house is clean.
Yeah, of course.
The dog is walked, that sort of thing. And then I'll sit down in my office, like at my PC. Usually I'll like, you know, check my socials, check my emails. Sometimes I'll like watch YouTube while I'm like eating breakfast as well, which is quite nice. Yeah. And then after that, I pretty much get started with what I need to do. So whether that be like record, edit, filming, sometimes all three in a single day. And that will usually take up like the bulk of my day. So it will be like, you know, from maybe like 12 until like 6, I will be working. And it like really depends on what needs to be done that day, but that's, you know, that's usually when I get my YouTubing done. I figure out what videos I'm going to do. Usually, especially lately, it's been I'm working on 100 days, so I'm scripting, I'm recording for that. Then in the evening, sometimes I will keep working if it's something where I'm you know, in a good headspace, or it's something that I'm doing for a deadline and I need to get it done. I will keep working through the evening. But if not, I will take some time and I'll either, you know, do something for myself, you know, whether that be like gaming by myself or reading or anything like that, or I'll jump on and play some games with my friends. So that's usually what I do like in the evenings. Sometimes that schedule gets like turned upside down on its head depending on what I'm doing. But if I was to say that was like a standard day, that's probably what it would look like.
And for example, how well do you balance, for example, your I don't know, friendships and your gaming and recording? Like, does it work well for you, or do you maybe sometimes are in the lack of the time or something? Like, do you balance it well together?
I wish I could tell you I did, but I don't. That would be lying. I don't. I'm getting better for sure, but definitely like my biggest priority is always the videos, is always the live streams, the work. So that does mean sometimes I do sacrifice, you know, personal life things. And that's not great. I am trying to be better with that, you know. Definitely like exercising as much as I can throughout the week, you know, getting out, going places. I don't know if this will come up in a question later, but I have next week I'm booked in with a horse riding lesson, so I'm very excited for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm you know, trying to do stuff for me as well as like doing the stuff I have to do, like the boring adult stuff, like making sure my washing is done. So I find like what I have to do is, as I said, like in the morning I have to get done the adult jobs before, because if I don't do them first, they won't get done.
Of course. Oh my god.
I will just sit down at my PC, we'll just record and work and do whatever, and then it'll be like 9 o'clock at night and I'm like, why would I do the washing now? So I have to do it first. But I am trying to get better with my work-life balance for sure.
And you do everything solo, right?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, so the videos you see on my channel that are like the regular videos, so like breeding in rival stars, Sims 4 stuff, that actually I record and I send to a video editor, and I work with some pretty incredible video editors. Like I kind of rotate between like who I'm using, but they're actually the ones that usually do the bulk. If you go into the description, they will always be tagged if they edited a video, so that you know like who did it, and you know I can obviously credit them. Obviously I do pay them, just for the record.
I mean, of course.
They're not, you know, they're not doing this for free. So but mostly everything else I do myself. I'm trying to think if I don't think there is anything else that I get anyone else to do, but obviously I do get help sometimes from like friends if I need to like record something in a game. For example, I did a promotional reel for my 100 days in a zombie apocalypse, and I needed like cinematic shots, so I had like a couple of my friends come on and sort of be actors, so that I could like get the nice pretty recordings that I needed for that video. But most of the time it is me, or at least I try to make it me.
That's really cool that your friends are, always up for it and want to do it and want to help you and everything. That's really cool. I love
Absolutely.
that.
I'm very lucky.
Are you editing sometimes also? Yeah, you edit alone, but you have an editor as well. So all of you edit, right?
Yeah, so it's basically
really?
like, it's not that we do it together. It'll be like, for example, all of the 100 days videos are me. That is me 100% editing that all myself. But I will give, say, like, the breeding Wild Mustangs Spirit and Rain, I gave to one of my new editors, Hayley Easterbrook. She's great. So I just give her the face cam footage and I give her the gameplay footage, and she kind of like, she trims it down, she does the overlays, she does like the cuts and stuff like that. She sends it back to me. If I have any like, changes that I want made, I'll tell her like, oh, could you, change this? She'll then give me the final one and I'll be like, great, cool. And then I obviously post that. So it's not really a collaborative thing. It's more like I work with individuals. And depending on the video, I might give it to a certain person.
No, I asked that because one of my questions was also, if you want, of course, that you can share, for example, your editing software or like tools, but that is, of course, if you want to share it. If not, that's completely okay.
Absolutely. I use Movavi Video Editor 25. It's good if you're starting out. Honestly, I have no excuse to still be using it. I haven't found the time / made the time to learn a real like video editing software like Adobe or Sony Vegas. I don't know if it's still called Sony Vegas, but that is my current video editor. If you're starting out, absolutely highly recommend it. But I really should be using something more professional, but I'm so lazy and I haven't taught myself yet.
No, I mean, we have to be lazy sometimes, girl. That's completely okay. That's completely okay. Another interesting question. When you decide to record the videos, so are you like doing, for example, like you have motivation, you record few videos and then you take a bit of a break, or is it more like a schedule that you, for example, tomorrow at this time I have to do this and I have to do that? Like, I know you like told me before that it's like from 12 to 6, something like that, right? But like, you sometimes probably record even more, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm not really big on schedules just because I don't really stick to them. I guess that's kind of like the type of job that it is like you do it when you can. It's sort of like two factors. One, if I'm, as you said, like if I've got motivation, if I've got inspiration, if I've got something I want to do. And sometimes when I need to do it, when I'm like, I haven't posted in a couple of weeks, I need to get something done, I need to create something. I have like a big like master list of all of the videos that I want to create. So sometimes it'll be, I already have something that I know I want to do and I'll sit down and do that and it'll be like, yeah, great. Sometimes I'll be like, I don't know what to do. I kind of don't want to do anything. So I'll just pick something from the list and, sit down and record it and make sure that it gets done and it gets sent to the editor so that I can, keep on schedule and stuff. But I would say like most of it is probably like motivation, so that I can like, I'm doing the stuff that I have the energy for, because I don't really want to be recording or creating content if I'm really low energy, because then when the video's finished I'm like, oh, I didn't like that, I didn't like how I presented that wasn't great. So it's definitely a mix of the two.
By the way, you told me before, that you're going on a riding lesson. How come? Like, you're probably very excited about that.
I am. I'm so excited.
So wait, you told me before that you used to ride horses, right? And you stopped because of the time, like that you didn't have the time?
No, it was actually the money. I didn't have the money.
Okay.
Obviously, horse riding, as you said, is a very like exclusive, like expensive sport. It definitely got to a point kind of recently where it was less the money and it was more the time. But also, I think I'm 24 now, so I just noticed that I kept putting a lot of things off. So I kept saying, oh, I'll do that later, I'll do that next year. And I love horses, I love horse riding. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna, give myself the time to go and horse ride because it's something I want to do. I would love to own my own horse one day, and you can't really own a horse if you don't know,
of course, the basics,
like you can't really do that. So it's both. I guess the way I kind of thought of it was like, this is an investment in myself because I'll be getting skills, I'll be getting out in
exercise
in the world, exercising, and it's something that I'm gonna enjoy, so it's gonna have a positive like mental effect on me as well. So I was like, okay, I have successfully logicked my way into giving myself
that's so cool. I love that. I think most of the people should have that mindset, honestly. Like, love it, because you found 4 in 1, the exercising, going out, like taking a break, courses, like everything is in one. So that's really cool. Okay, and while we were speaking about the horses, do you have like a favorite breed of the horse?
I do. I have always really loved Arabians. My channel mascot is the Palomino Pinehaven. She's actually like based on the Star Stable horse. And I think that like the Arabians are gorgeous horses. Maybe not the like very overly bred ones,
I know.
I don't love those, but like the well-bred, like athletic Arabians, the ones that do endurance riding. I love those so much. So definitely, if I had to pick, it would 100% be the Arabian.
Oh my god, that's like, I love Arabians, honestly, and they're used for endurance.
They're very they're used in endurance. Obviously, they have like decent scope for like jumping and stuff, but they're horses with like a lot of stamina, so they're great for like endurance riding, trail riding, and competitions even. So I love how versatile they are as well.
And okay, this is also an interesting question, but if you weren't making YouTube videos, what would you be in life?
Oh, I have no idea, if I'm being honest. I have no idea. I was training to be an actor, so I was doing like an acting foundation course. It's funny actually, because I was doing the acting foundation course at the same time I was doing YouTube in 2020, and everybody knows what happened in 2020. Everything locked down, and obviously nobody's hiring actors in 2020.
The COVID. Yeah,
exactly. So I was like, okay, well, I don't really have anything else to do, so I'm gonna go full-time on YouTube, because like, what else am I gonna do, so that's kind of how that happened. Looking back, I really enjoyed acting, but honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I don't know if I was that good. So I don't know if I'd be a successful actor, but at least I'd give it a go. So
yeah, I mean, you're a successful YouTuber, so
I appreciate that. I don't know if I'd be a successful actor though, but at least I'd be trying to do acting.
Well, probably, that's I mean, you said before that sometimes you have to kind of act that you were excited even if you saw it 2 times, and I think that is a really good thing, because I don't think I could do it, honestly.
That's true. I mean, I think like, this is just advice, I guess, for anyone who wants to like start YouTube, is like, if you can, do like the drama courses, do acting courses, because even if you're not like, I don't know, even if you're not like pretending to be, whatever you want to be, like, the confidence that you get from doing acting classes is honestly amazing. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to do YouTube to the extent that I do it now if I didn't have that confidence from, doing, I mean, I did like actual like acting foundation course. I mean, we were doing like ridiculous things, like rolling around on the floor, like pretending to be like, a color. So, you don't do that without like, not having the confidence. So I think that kind of just made things easier for me to be more confident on camera. So if you are wanting to get more confident, and you can, absolutely do the like weird acting foundation courses and do like the drama classes, because you will benefit from it 100%.
Okay, what can we expect in your channel, I don't know, in 2 years, let's say?
Ooh, I don't know. I would say I would love to keep doing my 100 days content. People really enjoy that. I really enjoy it. Definitely more live streams, and I can guarantee you this, it will still be horse content, so don't you worry.
Okay, perfect. I don't ever go from the horse world. Exactly. I want to return a bit about maybe your social media challenges. For example, like, social media can be an amazing place where people can, express their emotions, share stuff and things, but it can also sometimes lead into the negative way, unfortunately. How do you personally handle the drama that sometimes comes in the online communities?
Sometimes it's quite entertaining. I will admit that. It definitely is entertaining sometimes. I think like when stuff pops up, I do try my best to sort of understand what the situation is and what's actually kind of occurred, because when online drama happens, there can be a lot of he said, she said, this happened, here's the screenshot, but like it's all like blurred out so you can't see anything. Just getting like a good idea of like what actually occurred, and then sort of deciding like, is this actually important? Is this two people that have beef because one person like annoyed the other person, or is this like actually an issue that you kind of need to like talk about? And if the answer is like no, then at some point like just ignore it, and then eventually like people get bored and they like drop it at some point.
And do you feel like that the horse gaming communities has more drama than other like normal gaming communities?
Ooh, I like this question because I think like yes and no, weirdly. I think the reason I would say no is because I think like a lot of gaming communities have like stuff happening, but it doesn't really get like covered like as much maybe as in like the horse gaming space, because I feel like the horse gaming space is a little bit more like tight-knit and smaller, so word travels, so you hear about one thing happening and then everybody knows. But I would also say yes in the sense of like, I mean this in the most loving way. Us loving horses isn't enough for us to all like each other.
That's true.
So I think that kind of causes people to like get really involved with each other, doing a project or doing something in the horse game space, and then realizing that they're not actually compatible as people, and then there being like falling outs and drama and stuff like that. So I would say yes and no, probably leaning more towards yes. There probably is a little bit more more drama than other communities.
Okay. And have you ever been in an online drama yourself?
Yes, I have. I say that loud and proud. I absolutely have. There have been like different occasions and different like levels, I guess, of like being involved in drama. Some more so like I've been more involved by like calling it out on my YouTube, making a video on it or mentioning it somewhere, and others more like I've just ignored it because it is just like ridiculous stuff going on. But absolutely, yeah, I have been involved in various things. Do I still stand by exactly the things that I said at the time? Probably not, no. Because as we have mentioned quite a few times, I have been here a while, and obviously like the things that you say when you're like 18, 19, like you do not stand by them when you're 24 years old. So I've definitely grown, and I've tried to make apologies where necessary, and also understand like, okay, that wasn't the best way to handle that. But I'm still learning and growing, so drama, I guess, in a way is just another opportunity for you to like better yourself and understand like you as a person.
And do you ever like set boundaries on what you'll engage with online?
100%. Yeah, you
Okay.
have to.
You have
to, because otherwise people would just take, they'll just take the opportunity to try and wind you up and to try. Some people will do it because they personally have a vendetta against you or something that you said or did, and some people will just do it because you're a platform for them to get attention on, and like if you engage with that all the time, then it will manifest itself. It will just give people more opportunities to keep doing it to you. So like the more you ignore it, like I don't want to say ignore in the sense of like whenever anybody's trying to give you constructive criticism, ignore it. That's not what I'm saying at all. But a lot of the times when you've already identified, this is just someone having beef with me for no reason, this wasn't actually my fault, I didn't do anything wrong, the best thing you can do is just to ignore it and don't interact with them. Don't even like read what they're saying, don't even engage with it in any way, and eventually they'll get bored and go away.
Yeah, some creators get caught in the cancel culture cycle. What's your take on that?
I would love for you to expand on this. Do you mean like the content creators are getting cancelled constantly?
Yeah,
or do you mean, like
yeah.
they're cancelling people?
Both. Like
Both, okay.
Both, basically.
Both.
Yeah.
Interesting. Definitely, like, cancel culture is like an interesting phenomenon because I think like most things, it started out as like actually kind of a positive thing of like deplatforming people who were actually really horrible and weren't contributing in good ways, or you know, weren't good people behind the scenes and stuff like that. But then it does like get out of control and people just kind of take it upon themselves to kind of be like, I don't like you, therefore you shouldn't have a job, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't agree with that at all. I think definitely it is a case-by-case basis, but a lot of the time it's like if somebody has really genuinely done something that is like horrible and they haven't shown any remorse, they haven't really cared, you know, they're still doing their thing, they're kind of like, you know, being edgy and nonchalant and being like, I don't care, then like absolutely, you know, don't engage with that. Obviously, I would never ever condone people going after, like, you know, families, real life people.
Yeah, of course.
Stuff like that. Like, that is genuinely awful. But I think, like, honestly, the most power you can have when you're, quote unquote, like, canceling someone is just not engage with them at all. Like, don't watch their content, don't follow them, don't click on anything of theirs. Because eventually, like, if people can band together in that, right, and be like, you know what, we're not going to watch this person anymore, we're not going to support them, then that will do its job in itself anyway, because then their views will go down, their followers will go down, yada yada. You don't need to like go after them and attack them personally and, you know, go after their real life, because that just enables, especially if you genuinely believe they've done something wrong, it makes them the victim now, because you've gone after their personal life, and so they can basically claim like, oh, I've been attacked because of this, and you know, it's like, if we don't stoop to that level, they will eventually not have a platform anyway if we stop interacting with it.
Yeah, I completely agree to that, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think that most of the drama are like stirred up with kids, honestly. Younger fans, actually, not kids, but you know, younger fans. Okay, and how can fans support creators in a positive way when there's conflict in the community? What is your word for that?
Definitely, like, if you're wanting to support in a positive way, just watching their content, leaving them, you know, positive comments. It doesn't necessarily have to be like about the thing that's happened. Like, you don't have to be like, oh, I don't like, you know, this other person, so I'm watching you instead. Like, you don't need to interact like that. You can just be like, hey, I really like this video, have a good day, you know. Or, you know, sometimes it can be like DMing, you know, the creator and being like, you know, I hope you're doing good, take care of yourself, like, have a great day, that kind of thing. Just, you know, small little notes can sometimes be a really nice break, especially if that creator is like, you know, receiving a lot of backlash for, you know, getting into drama online, and you genuinely don't think that they've done anything wrong. Then just kind of like showing a little bit of support and, you know, watching their content can sometimes, you know, just feel validating and make them feel like they're not alone. So definitely like having that positive support rather than like the negative support of like going after the other creator and like leaving hate comments is definitely better to go after the positive avenue rather than the negative one.
And lastly, what is your advice for your, like, not just your fans, but, you know, younger people who want to start YouTube or like want to be known in the community, and I don't know, even content creators? Like, what is your advice that you would want to give?
Oh, definitely. I guess the best thing I can say is like every video that you create and every video that you upload is a learning process. And I think the thing is when people upload, they kind of think like, oh, the views and how much, you know, how many comments did I get, how much money did I earn, you know, how many followers did I get from this, instead of like really thinking like, what did I learn from this video? Did I learn a new editing technique? Did I learn maybe confidence to, like, you know, speak into the microphone? Or, you know, how can you build your skill set so that the next video that you make is even better than the one before, and not get too caught up in like, what is viral? What are other people making? What are my numbers compared to this other person? And instead being like, if you turn that inward and work on yourself, then you can't fail, you know, because every single time you do something, you're practicing at it and you're going to get better at it. So then you can't fail at that, you know. Sure, a video you might upload that you really loved and that you worked a really long time on and it doesn't do very well, that can really hurt 100%. But if you're interested in what did I learn from that and what did I maybe get better at, then absolutely it will be a really positive experience for you.
Okay, well, this has came to the end of my questions. Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for taking your time and coming to Jorvik Together. I know we're small compared to you, but I'm really happy that you actually decided to come, and thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me. I've had so much fun. You're a very good interviewer. I really appreciate the interesting and like diversity of the questions. And hey, you never know. One day you'll be up here as well, so don't you worry.
Well, I mean, I'm fine with the interview. No, I'm kidding, but like, no, maybe. I don't know, that's just my job. We're currently in the Star Stable community, so I have to do it now, you know.
I love that. Hey, maybe one day somebody will interview you though about your interview.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna keep you here for like 20 more minutes. So again, thank you so much for everything, and I wish you all the best in your career and in your future videos, and I'm gonna support them as always.
Thank you so much, and I hope this editing project doesn't kill you. Yeah. I hope it's relatively smooth. And thank you so much again for inviting me, and have a wonderful day.
Well, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's what I say.
Exactly. I love that.
Well, thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you in another episode. Bye.